Love Liberty Radio version 4.0. Prepare for launch.
OTC is go.
Packetbus is go.
PTC is go.
LPS is go.
Houston flight is go.
Pilot go.
STM is go.
Safety comms is go.
STU is go.
LRD is go. SRO is go.
CDI is go.
Launch Director, NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston.
Consequences so severe, so pull your trigger quickly, dear. Our patriots are acting up, let's punish them with fear. Hey, hey!
Hey, it's Peace, Love, Liberty Radio version 4.0. You heard that right, version 4.0. We're past episode 300. That means we're launching. We're almost in the stratosphere. Episode 301. And I told you on Wednesday that I'm going to sort of shift the focus of the show a little bit. And, well, one of the things that I want to do, and I don't know if you ever get, emails from various entities. I'm sure you get emails. If you're using the internet, you get emails. And if you're listening to the show, chances are you use the internet. But what I was going to say is I get an email. I forget who it's from, but they have links over to various things. Like Lifehack is one of the websites that they link over to. And it's sort of, self-help sort of stuff. And there's actually been quite a few articles that I've been saving for a while that I wanted to share when I not rebranded the show, but, refocused the direction of the show. And one of them, and I'm going to share it with you today, is 12 things that happen when you say yes more often. And when I first saw this headline, I was thinking the movie Yes Man. You remember the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, where he made a covenant with himself that he would say yes to everything for a period of time. And it wound up, just being a completely strange set of weird things that happen. So he's walking and he sees a sign that says, "Do you want guitar lessons?" Yes. "Do you want to learn Korean?" Yes. "Do you want to, go skydiving?" Yes. "Do you want to learn how to fly a plane?" Yes. And so then, through a strange turn of coincidences, he starts dating a really smoking hot female played by Zooey Deschanel. And they go on a trip. "Where do we want to go?" "Next flight's to Nebraska." "Okay, let's go to Nebraska." And so then, things happen, and he winds up getting arrested as a suspected terrorist because he knows Korean. He visited Nebraska. And the town he was in had some large fertilizer plant or something. And they're like, "Oh, planning with the Koreans to make bombs, are you?" And this, that, the other thing. Absolutely hilarious movie. But he winds up through, a set of circumstances being in the hospital with the guy that was running this yes seminar where he told people, this is the power of yes, blah, 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 blah. And so he's in the hospital with him, and he's like, "You got to break the covenant. I've had a bunch of bad things happen." And the guy's like, "There is no covenant. It's all hooey." The point is to get you to say yes to more opportunities and then learn when to say no. So the article here from lifehack.org, 12 things that happen when you say yes more. Now, before they get into the 12 things, they do have a short little write-up that I will now read to you. Have you ever found yourself sitting quietly in a group of friends and realized that you're the one that has nothing to say? Or you have the Sunday fear because just like every Sunday, you have to go to work tomorrow. I don't know what Sunday fear is. And you've got to go to work tomorrow. Well, I don't really take days off, so, that's not really any, big difference to me. But, during the week, there are different things that I do than on the weekends, but I'm still doing work-type stuff every day. And I guess this is one of those things of if you really enjoy what you're doing, it's not really work, per se, sort of things. But I digress and continue. Deep inside, you know that you've got something offer. I guess this should be, you've got something to offer. You believe it, even, but you have no idea how to start discovering that secret version of you, the potential you have, the key to the doors you've so far been unable to lock. As a human, you're the only creature on the planet capable of actively developing yourself. Every time you do something new, you grow and enrich your life. However, or rather, every time you do something new, you grow, and however rich your life has been so far, there is so much more to come along as you give yourself a chance. Saying yes opens a door for something new to happen, and if saying yes becomes a habit, far fewer opportunities will slide by unnoticed. In fact, saying yes more will leave you with so many options that you'll also have to say no more, but let's concentrate on the glass half full. The things that you say yes to are the things that happen, the memories that you create, and the experiences that will make you who you are. And as soon as you begin, you'll find yourself on a journey that will shape the rest of your life. Here are the 12 things that happen when you say yes more. You become more interesting. It might take a little time, but when you have a different experience to talk about every time you catch up with your friends, not only do you have new tales to tell, but as time goes on, you will become more rounded, articulate, and knowledgeable. Not only will your friends wonder what happened to you, but slowly they'll become infected with your enthusiasm to do new things. And this is something that I've always enjoyed, is doing things. I would much rather spend money on doing things than to spend money on buying things. When I worked for an airline, and I worked for an airline for about 4 years. It was 6 years ago when I left, and I can answer the reasons why. I think I've answered it before, but shoot an email to ama@fppradio.com, and I can go into some of the things that went on with the airline. But I would say that at least generally 2 to 3 of the day offsets that I had in a given month, so there's generally 4 weeks in a month. So, like between half to 3/4 of the off days that I had, I was traveling somewhere. I had so many experiences from just that time that I was working for the airline. I visited so many places, had so many experiences that I would not have had otherwise. And that's because, basically I said, yes, I want to travel instead of sitting at home and doing nothing today. Find out more about what happens when you say yes on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo, and would ultimately come to know exactly what it means to survive. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $3 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
You become more interesting. You know what else makes you more interesting? Taking care of yourself. I started doing it again about a year ago. And, I was in somewhat pretty good shape when I was in high school 20-plus years ago. And then injuries happened. I tore up my knees not long after getting out of high school. Stopped working out, and, basically I got fat. About a year ago, I weighed 317 pounds. Today, I'm about 180. And one of the ways that I did that is I started watching what I was eating healthy, eating less, and just making sure that what I was eating was good quality stuff. And recently, I joined Thrive Market. You can go to thrive.fppradio.com, sign up. It is a paid membership, but it's one of those like Costco, Sam's Club sort of things to where you pay a membership, but then you get access to the huge savings that they have, and they even help people out. So for every paid membership, and it's like $60 a year, but for every paid membership, they wind up giving a needy family a free membership. So your paid membership winds up helping somebody else, plus you wind up saving on good quality food. So I've been getting powders for smoothies. One of the ones that I really enjoy is a Greek yogurt powder, and that's a lot simpler to store a jar of Greek yogurt powder and add some of that to a smoothie than going to the store and buying Greek yogurt and having to store, packages of Greek yogurt in a refrigerator. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. You can get smoothies, or not smoothies, you can get jerkies, both beef, turkey, pork, and they've got vegetarian jerkies. There's fruits, nuts, and so much more. Go to thrive.fppradio.com, and when you sign up, I get a referral fee, and I think you wind up getting some sort of bonus yourself. And they always give you gifts on like purchases over $49. It's free shipping. You get buy over $59 worth of stuff, they'll throw something in absolutely free with your orders. So again, go to thrive.fppradio.com. Start eating right. Take care of yourself, because it is absolutely so important to a good life. And saying yes is also important to having a good, fulfilling life. Going through the 12 things that happen when you say yes more. You become more interesting. They write over at lifehack.org. It might take a little time, but, and I you know what? I actually think I read this entire thing. You become more well-rounded, more articulate, more knowledgeable, and your friends want to know what's going on, and they want to start saying yes too. Number 2, you realize the kindness of strangers. Stranger danger is a Cold War myth. You're a stranger to most people, and you're not so bad, so give everyone else the benefit of the doubt. Saying yes will mean you find yourself in brand new surroundings with people you've never met before, and more than likely, you'll need some help at some point. Just when you're feeling down and feeling like maybe this yes thing wasn't such a good idea, something good will happen, and it's likely to come in the form of a helping hand. Strangers are just friends waiting to happen, and if you approach life with gusto, see color in the grayest of moments, and start to push your limits, you'll be amazed at who you meet. Number 3 is one that I struggle with a lot: self-confidence. Number 3, they say, when you say yes, your confidence skyrockets. Remember the last thing you said yes to? And the one before that? Of course you do. You're still alive. In fact, you feel more alive, and suddenly you're not just waiting for opportunity, you're creating opportunity. As saying yes to cool stuff becomes second nature, you'll talk to more people, which in turn will lead to new offers and ideas. You'll feel less scared than ever before, more willing to take risk, and as your field of vision opens, your eyes will shine brighter. The 4th thing out of the 12 here of what happens when you say yes: failure becomes okay. And I've got a story about sort of failure, rejection more so than failure, that I might get into here. There will always be moments when you're scared to fail, or that people tell you that you're not en route to success. But even when your latest adventure doesn't quite come off, you'll be better prepared to dust yourself off. What other people classify as failure should not matter to you, because this is your life, and you can do what you want with it. Saying yes is just as much about putting yourself in a position to accept that not everything goes perfectly, but it's still okay. Success is not owning a big house or a fancy car. It's waking up each day knowing that you're going to give this your best shot. So, you know what? I've got plenty of time here to finish going through these. So I will talk about a failure that I had yesterday. And it was not as bad as I expected. And I know I've talked about, rejection before, and, that's something that I struggle with. And so I a lot of times put off asking out the pretty girl. And, well, yesterday I kind of did that in some kind of way. There's a health food store that I go to. They've got everything for the next couple of days on sale. I was like, oh, you know what? I need to get a couple things anyway. So I went in, and there's this really smoking hot chick that works there. She's got beautiful eyes, curly hair, and I had been telling myself for a while, next time I see her, I'm going to ask her out. And then, for a while I'd see her and I'd wind up chickening out. Yesterday, I get done checking out. I'm putting my stuff in my bag. She says, do you want your receipt? I said, I don't think I need my receipt. Maybe if you put your telephone number on it, I'll take it. She laughed and then threw away the receipt. But then she said, that was pretty good. Have a nice day. But, it was friendly. It was funny. And, I didn't wind up, shriveling up and dying because, oh no, I got rejected by the cute girl. It was funny and, whatever. It happens. But at least I said yes to the opportunity, even though the opportunity said no. Number 5 on the list, what happens when you say yes? You get better at things. You're rubbish every time you do something new, unless you have some freakish talent or aptitude, in which case, now and then you'll get lucky. But on the whole, you're not going to be an expert when you try out a new activity or skill, but keep plugging away and you'll learn more. You'll improve steadily, and eventually your discipline will reward you. There's more to know about what happens when you say yes when we come back on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. During the 2013 Porcupine Freedom Festival, Davy Barker presented an idea for a renegade psychological experiment. Since then, he has refined his idea and put his plan and research into writing. He explains, "We aim to show the world beyond a shadow of a doubt that power corrupts absolutely and corrupt authority deserves no obedience." Authoritarian Sociopathy is available from Amazon.com, all major bookstores, and now available as an audiobook. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
You know what else happens when you say yes? You wind up joining Liberty.me. Oh, you didn't realize that was a question? Okay, I'm asking you the question. Will you join Liberty.me? Yes. Yes, you will. And what you will find at Liberty.me is a social network, but so much more than a social network. Because there's publishing sites on Liberty.me, so you can have a WordPress blog connected to your profile. There's also ebooks that you can download. You don't find that on Facebook or any of the other social networks. Twitter doesn't give you ebooks. Twitter limits you to 140 characters. They don't do that at Liberty.me. Twitter and Facebook have internet trolls. Liberty.me does not, and that's because Liberty.me is paid service. But when you use referral code FPP Radio, you can wind up saving 10% on your registration fee. Go to liberty.me, code FPP Radio. Number 6 on the list of things that happen when you say yes, you discover newfound creativity. Okay, you're fully into doing mode now, or you're fully into the doing mode now. You've become pretty good at taking chances, but now and then you'll have to get creative. Whether it's making a yes list, coming up with a one-off project, or even setting yourself a huge adventure to complete, the extra purpose you've created for your actions will offer motivation and direction. Suddenly, you're starting to design life as you want it to look, and that means grabbing hold of your dreams and splashing them on paper. I wish I could do that becomes let's do that. And all of a sudden, you'll be doing something so unique your former self could not have imagined it. That's creativity, and you're an artist of life. Keep painting. And this is something that Brett Venat has been talking about a good bit, the creativity. He's been talking about a good bit on the School Sucks Project, School Sucks podcast. And I really recommend going and listening to some of his recent episodes where he's been talking about the creative approach, how to do things creatively, how to be creative, how to get into the mindset of creating things, as well as sort of the history of humans creating stuff and knowing that humans can and do create stuff. Because apparently it's a relatively new concept. And I realize this sounds strange, but it's a relatively new concept that humans can create things. Now, for a long time, humans did create things, but it was never the person that created the thing or invented the thing saying, yes, I created this. It was always a divine entity that got the credit, and the human that built the thing would just say, like, this entity created the thing, and I was just the hands. I did not create this. It was someone greater than me, and I was just the hands that formed whatever. But no, it's actually, human beings do have creative juices, and we do things. And I'm not going to get off into a theological discussion about whether or not, humans actually can create things. Is there free will? Is there not free will? Is there predestination? Is there not? Not getting into that debate at all. So let me now jump into number 7 on the list. You feel more healthy. Living life on your own terms comes with its downs, but your ability to take charge and take or create new opportunities has done wonders for your mind and your body. You're more positive, which means you challenge illness or inactivity as soon as it presents itself. You're in a better, stronger position to help others, which always makes you feel better. And physically, you're more confident, especially because now you know that if you wanted to, you could run a marathon, or even though you haven't started training yet. Crucially, looking after yourself and knowing when to say yes to rest will preserve the energy you need for the next big thing. And while I've not run a marathon, because, well, quite frankly, nobody's asked me, hey, Darryl, do you want to run a marathon? I did do a triathlon last summer, and as soon as it was done, I told the organizer of the triathlon, I said, Robin, if you ever hear me say something so stupid as, I think I'm going to do a triathlon, please slap me. Her response was, Darryl, I know you're going to do it again. And, well, about a month ago, I sent off my payment for the registration on doing the triathlon again this summer. So I said yes. And the whole thing of where I said yes to doing the first triathlon was just an absolutely weird fluke. I saw a shirt at the gym that I've been going to, and it said, give peace a try. And it had, a peace sign with somebody swimming, somebody running, somebody riding a bicycle. And so I asked the gym owner, I was like, oh, is somebody doing a triathlon? She said, yeah, a bunch of us are. And I thought she said we're going to do it on the roof. What she actually said was we're going to do it as a group. I was like, oh, you're just doing it. So what, like you're going to have an inflatable kiddie pool or something? And she laughed and she was like, what do you think I said? And then I told her, and she said, no, so it's a 1/4-mile swim, an 8-mile bike ride, and a 5K run. We're going to train as a group. Darryl, you should do it. And I said, okay, sure, sign me up. And so that's how I wound up signing up to do a triathlon. And I thought about quitting half a dozen times while I was swimming. I thought I was going to die about a dozen times while I was swimming. After I got out of the water, I was like, all right, everything's great. I'm going to be able to finish this. And then I ran into some bike problems, but I wound up finishing, and that was one of my goals. And the goal this year, not just finish, but finish a lot faster than I did last year. I'm hoping to break the 2-hour mark this year. Put that down in your calendars. Friday, March 25th, Darryl says he's going to break the 2-hour mark on the triathlon. There's more. Stay tuned. In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
It is the year 91,001 BCE. Witness humanity's origins in Hyperchronius, a classic role-playing game for Windows PCs, with a story like no other game before. A liberty-oriented experience that is not to be missed. Go to zog.ninja to get your copy of Hyperchronius today. Use the code FPP to get $1 off. Hyperchronius, zog.ninja, code FPP.
This is Jeremy Scott, host of Dark 30. You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Hey, it's the final segment, the closing moments, and I'm going to have to power through the rest of these. What happens when you say yes? Well, first off, you start listening to this podcast because I'm going to ask the question, hey, you want to listen to more Peace, Love, Liberty Radio? Yeah, I know you do. The link, as always, will be in the show notes. You can read the full write-ups that they have. Number 8, asking for things becomes easier. And that's because you expect more yes answers because you're giving more yes answers. And, well, I think you also start surrounding yourself with people that are going to give you that yes answer more often. Number 9, you start to enjoy Mondays. And as I said, this is something that doesn't really affect me because I pretty much work every day of the week. So there isn't one of these, oh no, I've got to go to work tomorrow. So, okay, tomorrow's another day. Monday, just another day. Number 10, you have to learn how to say no. And this is the big one. This is the point of the movie Yes Man that I referenced earlier. So I will jump into this. Life got epic and busy, but now you're in a position where you've opened up so many doors you simply can't take them all at the same time. You're also being approached by others, asking your advice. Yes, you've now gotten to a stage where you've done so much that people are coming to you for help, but this takes time too. You have a hunch that maybe if you carry on saying yes to everything, that sure, you might not get any sleep, but that's okay. But it's not. Sleep is the best medicine you have. So you have to learn to say no sometimes. After all, every time you say yes, you also say no by default to pretty much everything else. Knowing what's right and wrong comes down to instinct, and this has to be honed and will continue to be so by all of the yeses you've said so far. You know what's good for and what's not so good as well. You have to decide on the big yes for any given moment and protect your investment in that by saying no to the rest. Number 11, the world starts to make sense. And finally, number 12, what happens when you say yes more? Things just work out. They do. They really do. You have to trust in this fully to get the most out of life, to turn disappointment into opportunity, to let heartache run its course and doubt evaporate into hope. The process of saying yes to so many things has meant that you've broken down barriers, learned more about yourself, and started to help others. Sometimes it feels like you're totally in control. And, well, you'll just have to read more. This is Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copyheart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas, which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.